I can trust. Gotta keep it on my side in case these suckers try to bust. Against all odds, only the strong will survive. Trapped in the system, what motherfuckers doing life? The pain and the struggle, I try to keep it all aside. Born in the ghetto, you see that hate up in my eyes. It's real life, and nigga try to play in the field. Get either locked up in the system or you might get killed. Better think twice before you make a decision. Watch your back, don't be slipping in and up here. Fuck it, collect my guns, send this back to the block. Put my money back in the ghetto while they give it to cops. Damn, seem like my mind is going crazy. The system corrupted, look at the government is shaking. Gotta watch the babies, put them on poison, trying to alter their brains. Propaganda, Illuminati for the fortune and fame. I'd rather die on my feet than to live on my knees. It's loyalty above all else until I'm resting in peace. Till I'm deceased, I keep it solid, I can't bend one fall. Fuck the fame, fuck the money, I can't sell my soul. Trapped in the ghetto with violence, don't give a fuck about peace. Cause niggas dying and mama's crying, they can't even sleep. Damn, ain't that a trip? The world that we living in, the homies dying at a young age, all locked in the pen. Fuck that, I gotta get it for my family to strive, so I can live on my body when I'm no longer alive. Yeah, ain't that the goal? Make it out of the struggle, start a business and get that money. I'm legitimate hustle, but we gotta teach the youth and lace them up with this game so they can solve all the knowledge, pass it down with the same. Mama always asked me why I gotta live like this, cause in the ghetto niggas die, they even shoot little kids.
In America, black people are treated very much as the Vietnamese people or any other colonized people because we're brutalized. The police in our community occupy our area, our community, and the foreign troop occupies territory. And the police are there not to, in our community, not to promote our welfare or for our security and our safety, but they.
I'm saying,
tonight's not just another
shit. I'll play a couple bangers on the intro. Play a couple bangers on the intro. Scorpio season. Run it up.
Yeah, like I ain't tripping off the law side and took an L a few times. By 23, I done hit the pen 2 times. Police took my strap, so I went and copped the new knot. How you lose it, only get it back, that's the true line. Yeah, they know I'm shining brighter than a shoe shine. And everybody know I keep it on me like it's cool line. My favorite color red, they don't know which one I choose. But Nipsey was my favorite rapper, so at times I get the blue con. Yeah, I'm so ghetto like a coupon. Mouth in the body right, flow deep inside of Yukon. I'm always finna holler, bring my partners with they blues on. And they ain't hopping off they buck without they boots on. I leveled up, now I'm flexing all the fixture. If time is money, I ain't waste a second on these bitches. Yeah, I'm trying to triple up like I'm repping for the Sixers. Feeling like I'm AI the way I'm stepping over. Now they ain't fucking with my vocab. I story tell, but I ain't never taught on no man. That dome shot to go perfect with his toe tag. Fuck what you heard, ain't no one bigger than the program. Rules to this shit, try to tell you off the intro. You wanna talk?
You can call me off a flip phone.
Why you still fuck with dude? You know he been told. And you ain't have no code of fairness. What you snitch for?
Cause everybody wanna be a driller till it's really time to drill some. And everybody wanna be a soldier when ain't no wars going on.
Yee.
Just know when the camera falls is off. When I'm doing this shit really hit the fan. It's back to reality, y'all.
Yeah.
Now we riding 4D, windows high but we low key. Bitch, we known to carry the same guns as the police. A real killer know if he don't hunt, then he don't eat. Back in high school, was busting these missions on feet. Whole bunch of been trying to give him a nose ring. You ain't finna yank, what the fuck the reason you told he? Raised by OGs, 2 strikers and parolees. Free the homies, I'm gonna yell it until they home free. Bend the left on Canal, all the way to Chelsea. Bend the right on R Street, then come back around. To get away, it's gonna require a faster route. Finna be alright, just push till we make it out of town. This what you do when you wanna get your stripes up. When the ranks is something you wanna climb up. Cause on the net, this seem nice, huh? Guess he don't mind a one-way ticket to see the lifers. Like poker face when they throw you in that lineup. Don't go and cry about it, you knew this before you signed up. Then you hear your baby mama chilling in them nightclubs with all kind of vices that's digging in the vagina. Real life, we done made made it out them circumstances, so you don't have the right to talk if you ain't took them chances. Let's block shit, the main reason we took enhancements. I guess it's all worth it as long as the hood advances. So hopping out the load is respectable. I know a bunch of killers who never return from medical. When Trey told Doe to let him out, it was ethical. Cause sliding and snitching afterwards is not acceptable. Keep it real, hopping out the load is respectable. I know a bunch of killers who never return from medical. When Trey told Doe to let him out, it was ethical. Cause sliding and snitching afterwards is unacceptable.
You know what I'm saying? Scorpio season, what's happening? New transitions, new seasons, all that. How y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Welcome back and stuff like that. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna do a little extended sarcasm report too. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the moon about to enter fucking flunked out ass Cancer and shit like that coming from Gemini. So you know what I'm saying? With that being said, just get straight into it. So, you know, with the next kind of 30 days and things of that nature, we all gonna be dealing with this scorpionic energy. With that being said, with the sun 29 degrees Libra right now, we in the cusp and things of that nature. So things to be mindful of. Obviously, we kind of end in this initiation period. And for those who've been, you know, developing different ways of relatability, people, places, and things, seventh house energy with Libra and stuff like that with the sun there. A lot of actions have been played out through, you know, people, places, and things, business connections, business partnerships, maybe possibly even law as well. You may notice certain things with, you know, legality coming up that you may need to mend and be aware of and stuff like that. So that was a very significant energy. You're kind of going deeper with those things, having a deeper understanding right now. You're going to play out all those things that you've kind of initiated. You know, whether it's business partnerships, legal, even in forms of communication, because it's an air sign with the sun in Libra, that you're kind of going deeper, you know. So for those who've, you know, out there who may have not initiated anything, you know, no business, no relationships, etc., this could be simple. That's as simple as just ideas for you, you know, acting on your ideas for the past throughout the month of October, right? Acting on those ideas and things of that nature and seeing where they lead you. Now you're kind of going beneath the surface with those ideas, right? So it's like maybe you chose to actually, you know, go be around some new people or meet some new friends and things of that nature, network a little bit differently. And that initiation, you going through that, putting yourself through that is kind of gave you some new experience, right? To think a little bit more broad, especially with Jupiter and Gemini right now to retrograde. So it has you going over your ideas based upon possible new connections that you've met, relationships, business partnerships, friend groups, etc. From that, we kind of go into Scorpio. In Scorpio season, we kind of delve deeper into that, right? We go beneath the surface to kind of it's really psychologically analyzing, all right, these connections and you know, which ones are meaningful to you, which ones have, you know, you've developed deeper connections with and things of that nature. You can be going through that this month, really, and that's likely what a lot of us will be going through throughout the month of Scorpio, and it's really going to be putting us through the tides and emotions to really see which relationships and business partners are fulfilling to us, you know what I'm saying, are emotionally rewarding and things of that nature. So be mindful of that as well as we move forward. Keep in mind with Scorpio season here, with Scorpio season, guys, we do have, obviously we're all going to be going through this little transition period. So when it comes to the whole 30 degrees, you know, this whole level up of, you know, the snake, the de-evolved Scorpio and things of that nature, early degrees, the first decan, you know, every sign has its decan of evolution and things of that nature throughout the degrees, and the aspect of that sign, you know what I'm saying? So as the sun transitions through the 30 days, that also fills up the degrees until it enters a new sign, because every sign is, you know, 30 degrees, etc. roughly. So with that being said, you gotta be mindful of that transition. You're gonna be we're all gonna be transitioning the same way and going through that little intense period of dealing with those traits, right? So right now it's you're going from air to water, right? The initiation to the depth of understanding and things of that nature. So with that being said, obviously the first aspect of Scorpio, and then the Scorpios who are born with the first decan Scorpios and things of that nature will play out these energies more significantly in their lives than others, etc. Based upon that's their born signature. So they came down here on this earth incarnated as that signature. So a lot of them have that decan, that first decan signature, right? So with that being said, we have to be mindful of this whole transition period with the full 30 days, etc. So that first decan, that snake period, is where you may have to be mindful of, as we're entering Scorpio season, be mindful of being kept in the dark in a lot of things. If you feel like you're kept in the dark, or you may be kept in the dark, don't jump at things too quickly. Learn to cultivate a level of trust within yourself, because with the sun in Scorpio, your actions are going to be based upon your mindset. And if you're psychologically analyzing certain relationships, and with Mercury here too, you're going to be in your head a lot, thinking really deeply about certain things that you may not need to be necessarily thinking so deeply about, right? So you got to be mindful of certain things like that, to where it can put you in like a suspect energy, to where you'll be questioning everyone's actions and things of that nature, because you're kind of thinking really deeply about everyone's actions. You know what I'm saying? How it plays out, because Mercury is here. So a lot of that's on our mind here with the first decan of Scorpio season. So be mindful of that. And of course, with Mercury, and our way of communicating is also very, very deep as well. So more so based upon connection, and emotionally driven. So a lot of times, if you may not feel like communicating unless it is meaningful or has some sort of depth as well. So be mindful of that. But with the first 10 degrees of Scorpio season, this is something we'll all kind of be dealing with, even from now to the first 10 degrees of of Scorpio, to where we'll be dealing with that first decan energy. Where I'd say around the cusp around now to 10 degrees of Scorpio, we can break it up into 3, right? So a lot of that snake energy is where where they bite their own tail and things of that nature, where they think they're keeping where right now you may run into people who are keeping things in the dark, right? Based upon the sun being in Scorpio, their actions, that's how their actions are going to play out underneath the surface, right? So you have to learn to see in the dark and things of that nature, and understand, okay, if things are being kept in the dark, how do we move past that, right? And with Mercury there, you're going to be overthinking it. So with that being said, we're going to explain overcoming these things as we get to the transitions. But with a lot of the water, with a lot of the grand water trine energy that we're going to be having this week, with Mars, Neptune, Saturn, right? It's very interesting, right? There's a lot of emphasis on the water, so a lot of people will keep things in the dark, especially right now in the month of Scorpio, within themselves and things of that nature. So don't be mindful of overexpression. And if people are keeping things in the dark with you specifically, those they may not be the right relationship and business partners for you. As things shouldn't be kept in the dark. Things should be brought to light if they if they are spoken with integrity and if they're truthful, right? So for when things are kept in the dark, then it can always come off manipulative. So there's no reason to keep things in the dark if you don't need to be. So if there's things to bring towards the light and bring towards the surface, definitely do so, because that's the purest form that you can possibly be at, is to actually express yourself, because everyone's going to be acting or seeming a little shady right now because they're keeping things underneath the surface. So be mindful of that. And with Mercury there, they're obviously thinking about that. But Mercury will move forward, because we're already 12 degrees and things of that nature with that Mercury transit. But as we get to and then you may notice the people born with, like some of y'all who are born with that energy, with the early decan Scorpios and things of that nature, you may notice that energy to where you're more prone to certain things like that, right? To where, you know, maybe, you know, you've bitten your own tail. People keep you in the dark often, like the certain things like that happen to you often. And that's a lot of areas where people get the negative notion of Scorpio from. It's just that energy is just the inability to know, you know, what you're deep, you know, what you're going deep on, and how deep you're going. You see, when we get to like 10 to 20 degrees, a lot of those learn from their mistakes and understand from others' mistakes, so they can, and their past mistakes, so they can learn to kind of be the higher octave and things of that nature, and not to sting themselves based upon how they see things, right? So just because you may see things one way, that may not be entirely a universal truth, right? That may not be entirely true. So really, like a lot of the earlier degree Scorpios have to learn to understand that. The middle degree Scorpios will understand that, and understand that, you know, there's certain things that you can engage in, and not there's certain you can actually sting yourself and affect yourself when you go too far with certain things, or get caught up too much emotionally. So like those Scorpios kind of learn to overcome their lower attributes, their lower selves, and things of that nature, right? Be mindful. Obviously, Scorpio season 2. You guys, if you guys don't know, Scorpio rules the 8th house organs, which is obviously the sexual organs and things of that nature. So definitely be mindful of who you laying up with, and definitely don't catch no STD and things of that nature right now, and be laying up with all kinds of people and shit, because that'll definitely I ain't gonna put nothing on you, but yeah, just be mindful. So with that being said, guys, and this is something we're all going to be going through too. Like the first 10 degrees, you'll probably experience a little bit of that in the dark energy, a little bit of that snakish energy and things of that nature, unless things come to light, and you can be your purest form, right? Without feeling, oh, you need to keep things quiet and da 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 da. Remember, you know, use your voice. So bring things to light and things of that nature. With the 10 to 20 degrees decans, we're going to be going through that as well, to where we learn with like as we go through the month of November, early November, we're learning, okay, certain people are keeping things in the dark. Those people, I don't need to be around those people. Those relationships I've initiated, I no longer I may not no longer need, right? So you kind of steer away from certain things that don't push the needle forward, etc., that don't help you, that don't fulfill. As we go into middle of the month, we kind of learn, okay, so certain people who kept things in the dark, learn from that, right? Why did they keep things in the dark? Why did you keep things in the dark? Learn how to overcome and actually be better for yourself, to communicate a little bit more clear. Understand how you feel about others and how you feel about yourself, so that you're able to do that, right? If you don't understand emotional intelligence, then you will not be able to do that. That's 130%. Also, the last decan, the Phoenix, right? So obviously we got the Snake, we got the Scorpion, and we got the Phoenix. And these guys are the ones that, you know, a lot of them, the leaders, the teachers, probably into some sort of spirituality and things. That's going to be key, because as that's the wisdom we're going to be receiving, as, you know, rise from the Phoenix, you know, from dust, ash to ash, dust to dust, and things of that nature. We rise as the Phoenix, and as we're able to do that, that's us being able to learn from our own mistakes, and not just that, learn that our own emotions is also what attracts certain things that we no longer want in our life, right? So we have to learn how to discern how we feel, communicate how we feel. That way we're not attracting the things that we do not want in our life, right? And we can stay clear of those things, and position ourselves around, you know, people that we do deem valuable, that work better for you guys at that time, right? And we're going to all be experiencing this through the month of November. So be mindful of that, as that's going to be like going towards the end of the month, right? So this is the 20 to 30 degree Scorpios and things of that nature, kind of Sag like Scorpios, you know, where you know, where it's kind of, it's more teaching, bringing the light to the darkness and things of that nature. To where the other two signs, the Scorpion has the ability to be the light or the dark and things of that nature. The Phoenix is shining light on the darkness, and the Snake can just be a snake. So be mindful of that. And people who are trying to be manipulative, keep things in the dark, definitely be mindful for certain behaviors. You want to watch for certain psychological behaviors, because these are going to show you where spirits are at mentally, and not even that, but spaces that they're in spiritually, for them to even think like this and be and be mentally manipulative, to keep you in the dark in some way, shape, or form, to think that they have some sort of power and control over you, because when their ability to not share information with you is going to give them is going to feel like they are more empowered over you. So be mindful of who you're giving your power out to, and who are keeping things in the dark. As soon as you notice people kind of gatekeeping and keeping things in the dark, well, you have to withdraw, because that's someone trying to gain power and control over you based upon them not communicating something. And that's we don't need to be playing a game of power trips and power struggles and things of that nature. So be mindful of that. With that being said, as we move forward from Scorpio season, we know right now we do have the Sun in Libra, 29 degrees, Moon in Cancer over the next period of let's see, well, the next 2 days. Sorry, I was just reading the date real quick, but over the next 2 days, it's October 21st right now, Monday. It's only 2 degrees Cancer, so as we get into it. Tuesday and Wednesday, we have the Moon in Cancer. And with this being said, this is I kind of like this energy, because the Moon is going to be, is kind of going to form a trine with the Sun, and things of that nature, and Mercury here. Well, yeah, more so Mercury, because the Sun is a little far off, because we're just getting into that. But it'll still be it'll be there in the beginning. It'll be early, because it's still technically trine right now, because it's 29 degrees. So we're in the cusp. So we're actually in Scorpio season now, and it would be trining correctly now. As we get into tomorrow, maybe not so much, but first early transit of the Moon in Cancer. And I kind of like this, because with the Moon in Cancer and the Sun just finishing off Libra, it's playing out this square energy. And it's very interesting to me, because with this square energy, I'm really feeling like with the 29 degrees Libra, you're really, right now, it's the Sun is really asking us to the sun is our core, right? And what in our brightest light, what we uphold. The Sun is our actions, our confidence, our courage. And where do we need to have courage? Where do we need to, step up in terms of, where do we need to move forward in terms of business? Where do we need to get deeper in terms of partnerships and relationship dynamics, right? With the Sun going into Scorpio, and we get into deep water and psychological analyzation, and emotional development and conviction. It's the initiation period with this Moon in Cancer and the Sun in Libra. It's like you're ending the Sun is ending the initiation. You're ending the initiation, but you're starting a new initiation. Like it's the beginning of an ending, right? And with as Libra is here, 29 degrees going into Scorpio, you're letting go, you're fading away from certain relationships and businesses and business ideas and ways of thinking and partnerships and things of that nature that no longer serve you, with the Moon in Cancer at the same time initiating you emotionally to actually understand why you're doing this, and to develop some sort of conviction. So with this right now, with the Moon here at the same time, it's giving you the fuel to actually initiate some sort of um, emotional reasoning, possibly, and conviction. I'd say emotional conviction, because with Cancer, it's more so, it's like understanding the why you do something, right? As that emotional initiation, it's giving you the fuel to actually care for it. It's giving you the fuel to actually go do it, right? Because you feel, literally, that the Moon, you feel, right? You feel comfortable enough to do it. And right now, especially that word comfortable, Cancer, comfortable, right? So you feel comfortable enough to do it, to let go certain relationships, business partnerships, etc., that no longer serve you, ideas that you've initiated and stuff like that, that you may need to let go, right? Delegate, automate, eliminate. My 3 words for business. And for those that are on business game out there, delegate, automate, eliminate, right? If you can't delegate it, automate it, and things of that nature, right? If you can't automate it, get rid of it, right? If you can't delegate it, that means you need to be there, right? And things of that nature. But enough business talk right now. Let's stick on topic. But yeah, so that's giving you the initiation and understanding of okay, it's actually you have the comfortability to do this and let go, and it's fine, and it's kind of leaving this acceptance, this emotional fulfillment. With the moon also here though, that's more so my higher octaves with the moon in Cancer, guys. If you are here and you may notice the ending of certain relationships and certain businesses, do not get too emotionally distraught. You can be holding on for dear life here because you want this comfort. You want this comfort, and the moon here is going to make you do anything because you feel comfortable enough to do it, right? You want to act on these relationships that may be ending, you may need to let go, that you may need to rebuild, etc., right? Whatever that needs to happen, what based upon your scenario. So be mindful of that. The moon is going to make you do certain things in Cancer. You're going to want to connect and want to feel comfortable with someone and go deeper with certain connections. Don't over exhaust that. You can use that right now to initiate certain things with certain partnerships if it's in alignment to do so. So if you have a connection and things of that nature that you want to initiate, and you guys are on the same page, do so. If you notice the Scorpio energy, people keeping you in the dark and things of that nature, you may have to be mindful, etc. Because you want to avoid a manipulator, right? And any manipulation sent your way and things of that nature. So just be cautious and keen and stuff like that. Let's see. So as we move forward, yeah. So that's what I was going to do. So as we move forward into this moon in Cancer, we're going to get a little bit into the aspects. So right now we're only 2 degrees. I'm gonna go into tomorrow's transit and Wednesday's energy, because that's where we'll feel this more Cancer initiation type stuff as the sun transitions into Scorpio over these next 2 days. So with that being said, and then we also know Cancer late, like on not Tuesday, which will be not Tuesday, which will be tomorrow, Wednesday-ish, maybe late Tuesday will be 15, probably Wednesday, early Wednesday, things of that nature, overnight, possibly depending on where you are, east or west. But we're gonna form this trine to Mercury, right? With Mercury in Scorpio. It's gonna be interesting. We got this one 1 degree orb for the Mercury trine. And I think with that being said, guys, with the Mercury trine, with the 1 degree orb, I think it's going to be a big emphasis on self. The 1 degree orb between the moon in Cancer and Mercury in Scorpio is super interesting. It's like I feel like it's like a self trine. We have some of that Aries energy coming through with the orb, right? So you're highlighting with the moon the soul, your mother, your emotions, and things of that nature. And with this 1 degree, I feel like it's going to highlight you, or I can say us as individuals, regarding our own emotions, how we're going about acting on our emotions and how we feel and things of that nature, and how it can be affecting others, right? With that, because that Cancer energy is all like, and all this water, you know what I'm saying, with this trine to Saturn and Pisces is going, it's like it's a collective thing, right? And there's certain things that you can play out that can also that can have a ripple effect also to others right now, with a lot of that wave, and it's going to play out through like consciousness, and Cancer specifically is like a psychic energy, plays out behind the scenes, right? So you have to remember, it is like that, psychic energy, to where you understand why you're taking certain actions on certain emotions, right, for yourself, but it may be affecting others right? And within your foundation, however that may be, or the collective in some way, shape, or form. And you may be thinking how it could affect the collective. It may not necessarily be affecting the collective, but you may be thinking how it's affecting the collective, or you may feel like it could be affecting the collective because that psychic, unseen, wavering energy. That is going to play out very oddly, but you're going to know exactly how I feel because you're going to feel it. You're not going to see it. You may see it, but not really. It's going to play out more felt, right? So you gotta have to have that spiritual wisdom to kind of pick up on certain energies to know, okay, I know how I feel about this thing, and okay, I gotta do this because I know my reasoning. I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? But that you having that conviction, especially with Scorpio, is it's intense. It's intense, and that intensity of you having emotional conviction and honing in on that, like, can affect others possibly within your surrounding collective, right? And you may feel that affecting others, or emotionally intertwining with others and things of that nature because of that psychic, watery consciousness, energy, emotion, and things of that nature. You may notice that. So just be mindful, right, as we move in through November and things of that nature, like subtle intensities, and just things like that, subtle intensities, and um, I'm not gonna say animosities. It's just very intense, and I think it's gonna, like during this time, everyone knows why it's intense based upon their own emotional comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how that that Cancerian energy plays out. So based upon how you feel emotionally, like it may be felt, but everyone is their own individual anyway. It's that 1 degree orb. You get what I'm saying? That Aries energy. So you have to step into that. So it's a very interesting aspect, even in my opinion. It's a very interesting aspect with the collective and things of that nature, and collective and self. But as we move forward, let's see. I'm going to get into a little bit of the trines and stuff like that. We do have a lot. We do have a big grand water trine, obviously. Mm, yeah, we got the sun and trine Jupiter. Just looking at the chart here, guys, real quick for you guys. Yeah. So okay. So we got this. We got this trine with the moon, and then Mercury trine Saturn. There's a lot of ease and understanding towards our foundation, guys. Like we understand, we understand our position within the collective, right? Like with the moon here, it's giving us emotional ease and comfortability to understand why our foundation is the way it is, you know. And even with Mercury there, you're psychologically understanding, like you're dissecting and investigating your foundation and why things are the way they are right now. Scorpio is a very investigative energy. A lot of detectives and agents and things of that nature can hone in on those scorpionic energies and things of that nature. So be mindful of that. But yeah, I think that's very significant as we move forward. And with that being said, guys, we're half an hour in. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna go to the last little bit of the degrees with the moon in Cancer here, just for you guys to run through. I said Mercury in Pisces, guys. Pisces is in Saturn's in retrograde, so this is a good time to kind of just make sure you assess your foundation. You incorporate certain things, discipline towards certain delusions and dreams and things of that nature. In order to actually create a dream or make a dream a reality, you may need to hold in some discipline, right? Adjust some behaviors and things of that nature. That's that right now. Especially with Mercury there, you're gonna know exactly which behaviors you may need to digest with that scorpionic investigative energy, right? So be mindful of that. We're gonna be trining Venus at the end of this transit here. Again, yes, yes, yes. We're still trying in Venus, giving us some ease here, emotional comfortability to possibly this here, guys. If you like Wednesday, Wednesday could be a good day to communicate with any relationships or business partnerships for those in business. Um, for those in business, Wednesday can be a good day to make those calls, hop on the Zooms, do the outreach and things of that nature. A lot of communicative energies, a lot of ease with that right there, which is good. And also with the moon in Cancer, guys, you're gonna feel more comfortable to kind of relate to others, possibly financially as well. Right. So maybe you need to discuss a little bit about finances, a little bit about your earning ability, about raising your earning ability and things of that nature. This is all like an energy you're going to be more comfortable in right now to talk about with um, with that energy here, with that trine to Venus. Yes, trine to Venus, especially yeah, as Venus is in Sagittarius. It is all about experience, right? It is all about experience and you may be tapping into new understanding new comfortable to discuss or comfortable to do the research however you need to do it to act on it to understand certain finances and maybe certain enter different fields of new experiences to experience new finances, right? So if you are emotionally comfortable to talk about a financial gain, different ways of making money and things of that nature, right now is a good time to talk about it, discuss it, and actually go for it and try it. Because Venus is in Sagittarius, those new experiences can actually be very benefiting to you. Beneficial, sorry. We have the Moon conjunct Mars, obviously with Mars and the Moon in Cancer. This is good energy. Mars is usually detrimental in Cancer. It's in its fall and things of that nature. But what I like about this transit here, with the moon and Mars here, it's giving you the emotional comfortability to actually go do something. So you may have like this month of October and things of that nature, as Mars has been in Cancer for like the last 2 months, month and a half. You may notice a little bit lack of drive, a little bit less discipline, a little bit more motivated to be comfortable, and initiate levels of comfortability and things of that nature. But with the moon here, that's gonna have some emphasis. So it's gonna add some emphasis there to boost your drive. So maybe you have more drive or more passion to make something even more comfortable, um, to initiate something even have even more connection. I don't know how much connection something needs to have, but that's that energy right now to where you're going. You may feel comfortable to actually go hard with to go harder with something, right? um, about your passions, whatever you're passionate about, whatever motivates you, and whatever your desired outcome is or desired reality. Right now, you feel comfortable to actually go and do the thing that can manifest or shape or curate your desired reality, etc. So that is a good energy. If you've been on the lazy side, get off your ass, go do it, and things of that nature with Mars there on your shoulder. So, with that being said, let's get into the sextile with Uranus. So, obviously, we have the sextile to Uranus, giving us opportunities to change our foundation, and not just that, but change the way we think and understand our foundation. Right. Um, Taurus here is obviously practical understanding. Uranus deals with changes in the ruler of Aquarius. Right. And with that being said, obviously Uranus is ruling Aquarius, so it's kind of square and it's in this weird energy here in Taurus, but it's letting you know that it's okay to make changes to your foundation. It's also okay to make changes to your own values, your value system, and things of that nature. As your beliefs and values often dictate certain behaviors. Um, but values and things of that nature, and others might say differently, but to each their own as well. So with that being said, Uranus in Taurus, obviously Uranus deals with radical changes. It deals with rebellion. It may be a very big time right now with the moon in Cancer, guys, to You might have the opportunity just to be a rebel for no reason. Um, so try not to be over dramatic. Try not to be too rebellious. Mm, what's another word? Too much of an outcast. It could mess with your stability, but not even that. That may be needed in order to actually understand and to change your values, right? The opportunity in the sextile, it's happening because Uranus may want you to change your values so that your stability changes, right? Your the way you earn, your finances, all those things change in accordance, right? If you are trying to break a revenue ceiling, as some of my clients do, and is almost the main objective to get to new heights and things of that nature in earnings and finance, you have to be willing to change and cultivate your value system to one that's able to do so. And that is Uranus and Taurus right now. It's been in retrograde for a little bit. It's an outer planet and it has a lot of emphasis, right? So with Uranus being here, it's the rebel, it's the change. How can you be authentic towards your foundation? How can you be not even that, but how can you be authentic towards your values and what you value? How can you strengthen what you value so that you're more resilient and you stand on your values? And you understand how to act if someone crosses or doesn't cross your values. These are key points with Uranus and Taurus. It's in retrograde, so it's having us double back and really think about those things. You think about your values. What do you value? And what do you need to change about your values to develop a foundation, a solid foundation and stability, earnings, material, pleasure, etc. You may be lacking. You may have been lacking those things based upon not wanting to change your values. You may have been feeling like pleasure keeps running away, or you always have to chase pleasure, or you're never fulfilled. That's because your value system hasn't changed with Uranus here. Uranus and Taurus is asking to change your value system, to cultivate a new value system. That way you can develop the stability that you want, and the fulfillment that you want by being authentic. But you have to kind of understand your values, what you value as an individual, what you value as a person, you, right? And once you can cultivate that, then from there things start to change. How you do things, how you act. Remember, Taurus is that earth energy. How you act, how you speak, how you communicate, um, how you carry yourself and things of that nature. How you go about understanding things will change naturally by itself without you needing to do anything, because your internal state changed, because your values, you got right with your values, right? When you get right with yourself, your outer reality reflects that, right? When your outer reality can reflect that, you don't want that's when you can feel fulfilled, right? Because you know why you was doing something based upon your values. And even if and that's what makes one person do something longer than another, because their values. And that's what develops a conviction, right? To actually get to point A to point B, or to do that thing long enough. All right. I have a sip of this real quick. Warm water with the lime. You know what I'm saying? Hitting. So let's get into these aspects. So dope live right now today. A lot of insights. Um, so that was Moon in Cancer, sextile Uranus. We also have the Moon in Cancer trine Neptune. It's on Wednesday, guys. Keep in mind, Moon in Cancer, trine Neptune in Pisces. A lot of ease and comfortability towards our dreams and how we understand our dreams, fantasies, and even delusions, right? So with the moon here, you are actually like, especially with it being Cancer and that psychic energy, I think you're understanding, um, what were dreams and what were delusions, because you're picking it up intuitively. With the moon here, it's an intuitive. Cancer is an intuitive psychic behind the scenes energy, as it's trine Neptune in Pisces, that's also behind the scenes and things of that nature, and dreamy and subconscious. right? You're understanding which things, this can also be, with that there, to where there's a lot of ease flowing to that, right? There's a lot of ease, and with that being said, with a lot of ease there to Neptune and Pisces in retrograde, don't be too delusional, about certain things that you're comfortable about, certain dreams that you feel comfortable about. Try to have some sort of practicality, um, on those things. You know what I'm saying? Because with that trine energy there's going to be a lot of ease towards your dreams and to see your dreams and things of that nature, and to understand that and to be comfortable with, certain fantasies and also delusions as well. So be mindful of what delusions you're upholding or resonating with emotionally, um, as those things, not reality. So, well, until a certain point, some people will argue, you got to want it. The delusion will manifest, right? At some level, but there's a fine line, which that's another video. But there's a fine line about those things too. Um, about believing, having the belief and things of that nature, and the conviction, uh, right, about something, and diluting it till it becomes a reality, and actually believing in something that's totally actually like an actual delusion. You know what I'm saying? So there's you got to understand that, because I do believe in certain things like that. Like I do believe in shaping your reality, um, by believing in something that's not yet to be. Right, I do believe that is a thing. Neville Goddard speaks of it, law of assumption. I think that is a thing. I've seen it happen in my life and clients' lives. So, for me, I think that is true. But I do also believe that you can be delusional at an extent, right? Um, so yeah, that comes discernment and understanding, to each their own, right? Let's see as we move forward. So with this last aspect here, we have the moon opposition Pluto. Yeah. Because Pluto's in Capricorn now, finally going direct, which is nice. Finally out of this retrograde period. Um, Pluto's not going back to Capricorn, guys. Pluto will not be going back to Capricorn. Pluto was in Capricorn for like 15 years. It's been there for real long, longer than that. And this right here going into Aquarius is going to be like the next 20 years. Like how we gain power and control, um, you know, like over the next 20 years. A lot of this cap energy, this whole back and forth, from and really like we've been in the cusp probably since COVID, because it's such a slow, such a far off planet. I didn't even say that, but we've been in this transit probably since them times. You know what I'm saying? To where 2020 and things of that nature, Jupiter Saturn conjunction back in them times, 2019 I think it was, but I gotta check that note. But yeah, so around that time, from since then to now, there's been this back and forth of this of the new world. Okay, right. Um, of the old ways of doing things and new ways of doing things. And there were some of us who were going towards the new, some that was sticking to the old, some people in between, but we all seen the transition. We all seen the shift of, new things coming to be in the world and the age of information, a lot of things getting exposed, new technology, heights of AI. This is all Aquarian energy. All Aquarian energy. This is the stuff we're going to be seeing for the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature until we get into um until we get into the next sign and things of that nature. So this right here is going to be a very big energy, and with Pluto here, guys, that was an important 5 years to understand. Like, okay, your status. Capricorn is all about status, not just money and things of that nature, but status, what you're known for, what you want to uphold, and things of that nature. Pluto is making you understand, going to the depths of that. Okay, what you want to uphold. Where you feel power, where you feel more power at, in terms of what you want to uphold, what you have also more control over, that you can uphold, right? Because that will allow you to be able to do more, right, based upon what you're in control of. um Pluto's in Capricorn has been telling you to get control of your status, get control of what you want to uphold and what you want to put out and what you want to be seen for. Last 5 years, guys, last 5 years, right? And now we're not there no more. Now we're direct. So this is gonna kick a lot of people real quick. Like going into 25, like now going into 2025, like, and we're gonna be seeing this motion, and people, like, it'll build up, because it's not like you missed a shift, because because of Pluto, because it's Pluto and it's a far old planet, it's not like you're gonna miss the shift. Like, you can still do the work, you know what I'm saying? You can still do the work and understand that with the 29, it's still 29 degrees now. It's gonna be in the cusp. Um, I would probably say that still have to get 30 degrees and 1 degree, then 2 degrees. That's still cusp energy. I think that's still going to be all the way into 2025, etc. So these are all things that you guys need to be getting clear on, getting clear. And then with the Sun in Scorpio, this can help you with that as well, because obviously we know Pluto is ruler of Scorpio and things of that nature, one of the co-rulers. So with that being said, what do you want to uphold? What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be seen for? Doesn't have to be anything out there. Doesn't have to be anything like new age, new world, and things of that nature. But you got to know. You got to ask yourself this for yourself, right? Because you've probably seen a lot of things shift as well from the past and things of that nature. To now, right? The Jupiter and Saturn conjunction back in 2019 was like the initiation of this whole go entering the eight, like that this whole Pluto cap kind of period, and stuff like that, right? But we've been in the cusp of Pluto probably like since then, late, very late, and things of that nature, and that conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, to where we're expanding our boundaries, expanding forms of discipline and things of that nature, and also where we've seen the growth of larger boundaries, aka Bovid, you know what I'm saying? So aka Bovid. So when Bovid happened, what did we see? Everything locked down. That was Jupiter expanding boundaries with the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. We've seen that play out in the world, right? Saturn is literally like Earth, like, you know what I'm saying, like, type shit. Give me like a representation of that. It is a father figure. It is the discipline. It is the elder. So think about that in the way of what we build. You know what I'm saying? All the oldest institutions, all the things that laid the bricks and the foundation. You know what I'm saying? All of that right there. There's gonna be boundaries on those things and stuff like that. And Jupiter was there to kind of expand the boundaries, right? Because Jupiter expands anything that it touches, and if it's on Saturn, then Saturn used to be like the planet of like death back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So like if it's Jupiter's on Saturn, what's he gonna do? Just boom, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like touching the new codes. It's like touching the new codes for real. So yeah. Be mindful of that and things of that nature, because it's been asking that from you for a little while, right? With that being said, that's a little bit it for the moon transit, guys. We are about to hit an hour in, so I think that's good for this extended Starcast report. Scorpio season, make sure you guys double back and make sure you watch from the beginning, because we did break down the 3 decades of Scorpio season, what you may want to watch out for, what you may miss, because a lot of things will be kept in the dark this month. So be mindful of people keeping you in the dark about certain things, and you thinking that you're not in the dark, but you actually in the dark. So you got to learn how to see in the dark. Ride that flight, you know what I'm saying? Light, shine the light in the darkness, and you have to understand that that's actually an important thing. You know what I'm saying? Being able to discern the darkness, right? We all think we in the light. All the light becomes dark, So you may like there's all these thoughts, and Scorpio thinks real deep and things of that nature. And with that Libra energy, you're just relating, and now you're thinking deep. You know what I'm saying? With Scorpio, Scorpio here, people maybe keeping things in the dark, and for you that may be important, because when we have all colors, right? All colors of the spectrum shade them in and things of that nature. We have to remember, these can stay on topic. Remember, see, it's important to be able to see in the dark. What do I mean by that? It's the reason why silence and certain things in meditation is important, because you can understand things even while you're receiving light. Like with our eyes open, we are constantly receiving light, right? But what that really is could be its own collection of darkness. When you add all the lights together, and all the spectrums and the colors and things of that nature, even if you add every color of the rainbow, shade it in, what color you're gonna make? It's gonna be black. So be mindful of getting lost in too many thoughts and sparking too many lights and ideas and things of that nature, especially with Jupiter in Gemini right now, where you're going to be thinking hella quick, right? Thinking hella quick about past, could be past ways of thinking too, but is really thinking hella quick about certain things, and it could be past experiences, right? And you're thinking about these past experiences, and based upon those past experiences may cause you this deep psychological way of thinking, and this is like trigger some trauma, and now you're like, oh shit, you spiraling. Do not spiral. You know what I'm saying? Do not spiral. And you gotta understand that that's when you get and you think, oh, this person doing that. Oh, I'm seeing. Nah, you just getting lost in lights because you sparking a lot of stuff in your mind that doesn't need to be there. So and believe me, I'll tell you this I'm speaking as a Scorpio. So you don't need to be thinking all the time about things that are just you don't need. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be on your mind and things of that nature all the time, because that's mental energy. It's exhaustion. That right there can be your own. We like to call it esoteric currency. So you thinking about all these things and things of that nature, you can put that energy elsewhere. You can redirect that. You got to learn how to redirect these things. And Scorpio is very intense, so you can get caught in a flux and start spiraling quick. So especially when it's dealing with relationships and Mercury here too, because it's just your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So we all thinking deep right now, and then now the sun's gonna be here. We're gonna act on it. Don't act on certain. Remember. From spirit to mental to physical. Where we're at spiritually, we now have the understanding where we gonna be at spiritually, as spirits. You know what I'm saying? In a body where we all gonna be kind of observing. We get that. That's the waters we're in. That's the transition we're in. That's the transit and period month that we're in. Scorpio. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And these are just things that we gotta be aware of. You gotta be aware of. Don't spiral down. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Shit. So let me just double check the chart real quick, guys. Make sure I don't miss anything. We live. It's a Monday. It's good. Start the week with some good energies and things of that nature. It's a moon day. It's a Monday, or it's a moon day, and the moon's in Cancer, which is cool. They named the days of the week after the planets. If y'all didn't know, now you know. There's a lot of shit based upon astrology. For those who bro, astrology, it was one of the oldest systems. But with that being said, guys, we're like an hour in. We're gonna call it right there. And for that being said, it's probably midnight on the east side and things of that nature. So peace out. Make sure you double back. Don't miss it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, subscribe, as I say, or don't. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the flip side for the next one. Hold on, let me end this because I'm on my different computer. Hold on. Oh, I got you.